every 20 minutes. It's your statewide Alabama weathercast.
Hi, I'm meteorologist Drew McCombs with the Alabama Weather Network. This is your midday Alabama forecast. And looking at the satellite and radar, got a few scattered showers and storms beginning to form, especially in the southern part of the state. We've got a few there that have moved past Phoenix City and Auburn and Opelika, moving down further towards the south. Also got some in Greene County, Wilcox counties, moving down towards the south as well, and starting to see a few specks pop up in North Alabama, up in Madison County. Got one starting to develop in the northern part of that county as well. And then the rest of the state staying dry and hot with a mixture of sun and clouds as we get through the early part of the afternoon. Taking a zoom into a couple of the thunderstorms around. So again, you've got fairly heavy looking thunderstorm moving south of Tuskegee at this point, moving towards Union Springs. So that one actually is packing a little bit of a punch. Got some gusty winds we can see already and quite a bit of lightning. And then as we move further to the southwest, not as much strength to the activity over this way, but it's continuing to develop. So you've got some few showers and thunderstorms in Butler County near Greenville and over in Wilcox County near Camden as well. And we'll continue to monitor these as we get through the rest of the afternoon and evening. But as far as the sky cams, the places we're seeing in the sky cams right now, Hatton up in Lawrence County, still looking pretty nice out there, but it's hot. It's there's not any storms in this area immediately, but it's definitely hot out there, and it's been pretty humid as well. So that's going to continue to be that way in most parts of the state that don't get the thunderstorms. Alabaster's at 90 degrees with a few scattered clouds. Could see some storms beginning to start to fire there here in a little bit. And what we're watching is, again, few strong storms possible today, especially the northern 2/3 of the state will be the biggest chance of that. But as we get past today and through the end of the week, the heat levels will slowly fall and temperatures looking even a little bit nicer as we get into early next week. So we'll talk about that more in a bit, but that's going to be nice. Temperatures, though, right now, still hot most places. 94 degrees in Birmingham, 86 in Greenville, 90 in Troy. So some of the places like Greenville and also Auburn at 78 degrees, starting to see some influence from nearby storms, but places that haven't had any storms yet, like Chatham, 95 degrees, still hot and humid out there. Heat index values show that. So this is what it feels like outside due to the humidity and the heat. 102 is what it feels like in Demopolis, 100 in Andalusia, 100 in Gulf Shores as well, and 104 in Huntsville. So plenty of places still just hot and dry at this point of the afternoon. As far as the severe weather outlook, that green area, that's the level 1 out of 5 marginal risk for severe weather. Main threat with this is going to be wind for today again. So that'll be gusts over 58 miles per hour would be possible here. And you see in the brown here, that's a 5% risk of any one point of 25 miles of any one point receiving any sort of severe wind. And so again, northern 2/3 of the state, from Monroeville, Greenville, Montgomery, Alexander City, points to the northwest. That's the main place we expect that. And again, I think it'll be fairly isolated. Not many places are going to see that, but there probably will be a few. Now, looking at the futurecast, tells a story there. Again, scatter showers and thunderstorms getting more numerous as we get later on into the afternoon, and then starting to eventually die down later in the evening, but it'll probably take a little bit longer in the southern part of the state for those to die down. There'll still be a few later in the evening in the southern part of the state. And then for tomorrow, looks like this boundary will sag far enough south that we'll expect drier weather in the northern part of the state, but a enhancement of the showers and thunderstorms in the southern part of the state for tomorrow. And I'd say it looks like we're going to see a similar thing for Friday as well, where better chances of showers and thunderstorms in the southern part of the state than what you have in the northern part of the state. Forecast wind gusts are kind of interesting here because you can see these little rings of higher wind gusts in the northern part of the state this evening. And this is evidence of potential downbursts of wind. So again, this is what we're talking about with the potential threat for some gusty winds out there. So the model is picking up on that. And so again, I do think we'll see some cases where we have some downbursts and could see some trees get knocked down here and there. Hopefully not too much, but that is something that is a possibility that we'll be watching for sure. As far as the overall pattern, again, heat backing down as we head into the end part of the week, and that's going to help to increase the rain chances, especially down south. Again, maybe not as much into the north, but you can see that ridge that has been in place to our west will start to kind of weaken a little bit, and we'll get a little bit more of a trough in place across our area into the weekend, and especially as we get into early next week. You start to see some of those blues getting down here, and you get this northwesterly component to the upper level winds. And that's going to be some nice continental air starting to move into our area and helping to back down the humidity and the temperatures a little bit. So that'll be something, a nice little treat for late August as we get into next week. Tropical update, Hurricane Aaron, the 1 p.m. advisory is in, and it's a 110 mile per hour hurricane at this point, so it's actually strengthened a little bit. Still seeing an eye feature beginning to reform here. We hadn't seen that in a little while until this morning. So there's still some opportunity, as I'd say it's over the Gulf Stream at this point. It's helping to kind of strengthen a little bit more. But again, it will stay offshore, but there will be definitely impacts inland for sure, or not inland, but along the coast of the U.S. And so that will certainly be something, and we'll show you an example of that here in a second. But as far as the forecast path, again, could get back to a Category 3 over the next day or two before beginning to weaken further as it moves into the cooler waters and up to the northeast, runs into more shear, and gets picked up by a trough. But again, the impacts are certainly going to be there along the east coast with the wave action, the rip currents, just heavy seas. And this is actually an example of it happening right now at Avon Pier in Avon, North Carolina. So you can see the heavy surf already coming in. The pier here already has plenty of water coming in further past than it normally would. There's been some washing of the ocean over the roads in parts of the Outer Banks of North Carolina already over the last day or so. So starting to see those impacts in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Now, looking back further to the east, we do still have a couple areas that we're watching for the next week or so. The orange area here is going to be this wave here, expected to actually start to curve before Hurricane Aaron did, and so this shouldn't be an issue. All the models are recurving that. And we're also watching this 40% chance region that's further to the east. And again, that shouldn't affect us. We're not expecting trouble with that as well, but obviously this time of year, we're always going to be keeping one eye on the tropics. Okay, your 7-day forecast for North Alabama, again, mid-90s for today. Some higher rain chances, potential strong storms. And then again, the northern part of the state backs down the rain chances a little bit, and you see those temperatures backing down as we head towards the weekend. And really, though, the thing to look forward to is Monday and Tuesday of next week as we see those temperature levels back down further and the humidity back down, so that some places may even get down into the upper 50s in those cooler spots for the lows for Tuesday morning. And then for South Alabama, again, hot for the next couple of days, but we'll see those raining chances increase and the temperatures decrease, and it won't get quite as cool as it will be in North Alabama and South Alabama, but still slightly refreshing beginning to next week. Well, that's your Alabama forecast. We'll have another one coming up later this afternoon.